On New Year's Eve, snow was falling gently. I finally managed to clear my schedule, planning to go home early to spend the holiday with my wife, Emily.
Emily would surely be delighted to see me.
Before entering the ward, I took a moment to fix my hair, which had become a bit messy from running. Through the window of the ward, I finally saw the person I had been longing to see. But she wasn't alone in the room. There was a man and a little boy with her. At that moment, the man was holding a spoon, blowing on it gently, and feeding Emily with great tenderness. The little boy was nestled obediently in Emily's arms.
Mommy, are you feeling unwell? Why are you in a hospital?
Mommy will get better soon, and then Mommy will take you and Daddy to Disneyland, okay?
The little boy was so happy that he danced with joy, kissing Emily and then the man beside her. The heartwarming scene left me stunned. I couldn't snap out of it for a long time. That man was my driver and assistant, James. This new year, I couldn't surprise Emily, but she gave me a shocking surprise instead. I walked to the stairwell and dialed that familiar number. After 15 seconds, the call was finally answered.
Michael, when are you coming back? I miss you.
Emily's gentle voice came through the phone, as affectionate as ever, expressing how much she missed me. I gripped my phone tightly, trying to act as usual.
I miss you too. I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay, I'll be waiting for you.
Ignoring what I had just seen, Emily really seemed wonderful, didn't she? We were college classmates, and not long after graduation, we got married with the blessings of our friends. After marriage, I focused on my career while she took care of the home, and we were recognized as a model couple among our friends. But now, it all seemed so fake. We had been married for 5 years, and she had a child with someone else. How laughable that I was even planning to donate a kidney to save her life. What a joke. 3 months ago, Emily collapsed and was diagnosed with kidney issues. Thankfully, it wasn't too late, and I was a compatible donor. I thought fate was on my side, giving me a chance to save her. But now, as the new year approached, I didn't want to go through with it. I, Michael, a successful billionaire, had been deceived by her. The thought made me laugh bitterly. Leaving the hospital, I saw fireworks in the sky, reminding me of my proposal to Emily 5 years ago.
Emily, marry me. I want to give you a home. Emily, with these fireworks as witnesses, my love for you is unwavering. Emily, I, Michael, swear to love only you in this life.
And now, that home was gone. Exhausted, I returned home to find Mother in the kitchen. Her expression changed when she saw me.
Michael, didn't you say you were coming back tomorrow? Did you visit Emily at the hospital?
I haven't been to the hospital yet. I was planning to make some soup for Emily before going.
Oh. You just got back, you should rest more. Today is New Year's Eve, and I've already brought her food. She's probably resting now. I'll go with you tomorrow.
A chill ran through me. It seemed I had been kept in the dark. Since our marriage, Mother treated me like her own son. She never pressured us about having children. It's okay, making money is important. As for children, you can't force it. Just let it be. I once thought having such an understanding mother was a blessing. Now, I realized, Mother didn't push for a grandchild because she already had one.
Mother, I'm a bit tired. I'll go to my room first.
I didn't want to continue the charade with her any longer. It felt disgusting. Emily's gentle voice came through the phone, as affectionate as ever, expressing how much she missed me.
I miss you so much, Michael. When will you be back?
I miss you too. I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay, I'll be waiting for you.
Ignoring what I had just seen, Emily really seemed wonderful, didn't she? We were college classmates, and not long after graduation, we got married with the blessings of our friends. After marriage, I focused on my career while she took care of the home, and we were recognized as a model couple among our friends. But now, it all seemed so fake. We had been married for 5 years, and she had a child with someone else. How laughable that I was even planning to donate a kidney to save her life. What a joke. Before seeing this scene, I would have softened and tried everything to get Emily a kidney transplant as soon as possible. But now, I let her cry and cling to my arm. It's not that I don't feel for her, but I don't want my efforts to be turned into a joke. Seeing my indifference, Mother became anxious and choked up as she pleaded.
Michael, Mother will take good care of you in the future. Please, save Emily. Over the years, Emily has always listened to you. You can't just watch her suffer, right?
Ha! Starting to guilt trip me now? Always listen to me? Over the years, I've provided for them. Without me, Emily would probably still be struggling in the workplace.
After graduation, Emily and I both entered the same workplace. Unlike me, Emily performed poorly in the business world and often complained.
Michael, you have no idea how overbearing our director is. He always makes me take the blame. I really have a terrible teammate. My colleague in our group got me scolded by the boss again. Why do I have to do the planning again? They're all targeting me.
Forgotten memories are now becoming clear. Emily chose to be a housewife not because of me, but because she couldn't make it in the workplace. I was just a cover to protect her dignity. Now that I think about it, Emily wasn't that simple and beautiful, it was my affection that gave her a halo. Now that the halo is gone, she's just an ordinary woman. But now, they seem to think that all of Emily's sacrifices were for me.
I pushed Mother's hand away and said coldly, "Mother, I never said I wouldn't save Emily. It's just that my body can't handle such a major surgery right now. Does Mother only care about Emily and not me?"
No. I didn't mean that, Michael, please believe me.
Mother averted her eyes, unable to hide the panic on her face. Emily coughed weakly and said,
Mother, I can still hold on. Don't say anything to Michael. It's not too late to have the surgery after Michael recovers.
The latter half of her sentence was clearly directed at me. Paired with her pale face, she did look somewhat pitiful.
Emily, you're still the best to me.
She seemed surprised that I would go along with her words, a flicker of astonishment in her eyes. Since they liked to act, I would play along with them. Otherwise, how could I repay them for their years of effort? The room suddenly fell silent, and none of us spoke. Bang, the door was forcefully pushed open.
Emily,
The rest of James' words were swallowed when he saw me. He probably didn't expect to see me in the hospital room.
Michael, you're back?
What, you don't seem too happy to see me back.
No, not at all.
Oh, then what are you doing here? Taking care of Emily for me?
The awkwardness in the room intensified. With the husband absent, the driver openly taking his place, who would have thought I'd find myself in such a melodramatic situation one day?
Michael, I went to the company today and heard from the manager that I was let go. I wanted to ask what I did wrong. I can change.
James was portraying a strong, resilient image. Why hadn't I noticed this talent before?
Don't you know what you did wrong? Do I need to remind you?
I glanced at him, then at Emily sitting on the bed. A bold idea crossed my mind. Since they love each other so much, why not let them be together? Hearing my words, James seemed to understand and went to take care of Emily on the bed.
Michael, don't worry. I'll take even better care of Miss Emily from now on.
I stared coldly at Emily. If she dared to drink the soup, I would definitely make her regret it today. Fortunately, Emily sensed my abnormality and coughed lightly, pushing away the spoon that was near her mouth.
Michael, Brother James is a single man taking care of a child alone. Considering his hard work over the years, don't fire him.
What a bold statement. Since when did she have a say in the company's personnel decisions? And she dared to mention the child. I used to see James as a struggling single father and gave him a lot of leave privately. Sometimes, I even took Emily to visit him and his child. Looking back, I should have noticed the loving look in Emily's eyes when she saw the child, who bore a striking resemblance to her. Everything had been right in front of me, but I never thought in that direction. Seeing Emily's confident expression, I sneered internally. Want to be together? Fine, I'll make it happen.
Since Emily is used to your care, James, you can stay and take care of her for now. You don't need to go to the company, so you can have more time to look after the child.
Michael, how can that be? I think working at the company suits me better.
What, you think taking care of my wife is beneath you? I emphasize the word wife.
No, not at all. It's my honor to take care of Miss Emily.
Then you better take good care of your Miss Emily.
I stayed in the hospital room for a while longer and, when they weren't paying attention, left a tiny camera in a flower pot. Downstairs at the hospital, I connected my phone's Bluetooth to a miniature camera. Everything in the hospital room was clearly projected onto my phone. James's voice came through clearly.
Emily, did Michael suspect something? Why did he suddenly fire me?
Humph. So what if he found out? As long as we keep him happy until he donates his kidney to me, his end won't be far off.
For the first time in so many years, I discovered how harsh Emily's words could be. She actually wished for my demise.
Once Michael is gone, all his assets will be ours. We won't have to please him anymore.
So, all these years were just about pleasing me. She really went through a lot, pleasing me for so many years. Listening to the recording of their venomous words, it felt like a bucket of cold water was poured over me. My devoted mother and loving wife were secretly plotting my end. A cold smile tugged at the corner of my mouth.
Mother, didn't you always prepare some conflicting foods for him? Let's stop that for now. We'll wait until he donates his kidney.
Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
So that's how it was. Conflicting foods? They came up with such a method to make me pass away quietly. I couldn't help but shiver. If it weren't for my frequent business trips and social engagements over the years, I might have already been a cold corpse. No wonder they often insisted I eat at home, and sometimes even brought food to my office. I used to think they cared about me and were being kind. Now it seems they couldn't wait for me to die. Saving their conversation, I drove to another top-tier hospital. From the test results, it looks like you've been experiencing food poisoning for at least 3 years. Fortunately, you haven't consumed much, so it's just weakened your stomach and caused occasional diarrhea and vomiting. You need to pay more attention to your diet in the future, the doctor said sympathetically.
From the test results, it looks like you've been experiencing food poisoning for at least 3 years. Fortunately, you haven't consumed much, so it's just weakened your stomach and caused occasional diarrhea and vomiting. You need to pay more attention to your diet in the future.
3 years. It started that long ago. After the checkup, I specifically asked the doctor to educate me on conflicting foods. That's when I learned that eating lamb and watermelon together can cause arsenic poisoning. In the past, every time I returned from a business trip, Mother would make a big pot of lamb for me.
Michael, come quickly, I made your favorite lamb.
A table full of dishes would be laid out, with a pot of tender lamb in the center. Every time, I would be moved and say to Mother,
Mother, you're so kind.
After the meal, Emily would always thoughtfully cut a plate full of watermelon for me. Looking back now, it's a miracle I survived all these years. On my way home, I stopped by the market to buy a watermelon and then went to the lamb stall to pick out some lamb.
Hey, young man, you shouldn't eat lamb and watermelon together. It's not good for your health.
Auntie, do you often remind people buying lamb that these two foods shouldn't be eaten together?
Of course.
I didn't really listen to what she said after that, it wasn't important anymore. In the end, I stubbornly had her pick out a piece of lamb for me. This meal, I was going to personally serve them. Let them taste what I once felt. When I got home, I hired a housekeeper to prepare a meal according to the menu Mother used to make for me. It turns out that spinach and shrimp can also cause discomfort. This mother and daughter duo, they really are cunning and calculating. Such delicious food is best enjoyed together. In the evening, Mother finally came home. To be precise, she came back after they had discussed how to deal with me.
Mom, I apologize for my attitude this morning.
Oh, Michael, you're like my own son. As long as you don't want to, I won't force you.
Mom, look, I prepared this for you.
I said, pretending to be happy as I pointed to the feast on the table. Mother turned her head and looked at the dishes on the table, her smile faltering for a moment.
Come on, try it and see how it tastes.
I pulled her to sit down and served her a bowl of spinach and shrimp soup.
Mom, why aren't you drinking? Are you still upset about this morning?
No.
With my persistent encouragement, Mother reluctantly ate all the dishes on the table. Not only that, but I also gave her several pieces of lamb. The more delicious it is now, the more painful it will be later. After dinner, I brought out the watermelon I had prepared in the kitchen. Mother could no longer maintain her earlier kindness and looked at me in horror.
You also prepared watermelon?
My gaze was cold. She knew all along. I smirked inwardly but kept an innocent expression on my face.
Yes, Emily used to cut it for me. This time, I can finally show my appreciation to you.
As I spoke, I walked over to her. Mother swallowed nervously and took a step back.
Michael, I'm already full. I really can't eat anymore.
So, it seems Mother still hasn't forgiven me. I'm so upset. It looks like I won't be able to donate a kidney to Emily anytime soon.
If she doesn't eat, I won't donate my kidney. Which is more important to you, your daughter or yourself?
The answer was obvious. Mother eventually ate. At 2 a.m, my door was knocked on, and a weak voice from outside called.
Michael.
The voice was intermittent, likely due to food poisoning. I put on my earplugs, turned over, and blocked out the sound. I'll collect some interest on what I'm owed. In the past, I would often have stomach issues every month or two.
Is it because you ate too much takeout while on business trips and ruined your stomach? You tell me, what would you do without me taking care of you?
Ha! She really took good care of me. Now it's my turn to take care of this mother and daughter duo.
In the morning, I saw an old woman with disheveled hair and a pale face in the living room. Is she trying to scare me to death this early in the morning? Mother looked like she hadn't slept all night, with bags under her eyes almost touching the ground. When she saw me, she immediately started crying.
Michael, take me to the hospital. I can't take it anymore.
Oh, you can't take it anymore. I've been eating this for years and I'm still fine. You're really pampered and can't endure any hardship. Mother, wait for me to get ready, and then I'll take you to the hospital.
Under Mother's watchful eyes, I slowly finished my breakfast, washed my hair, and changed into clean clothes. Only when she was about to lose her patience did I pick up the car keys. I took her to the hospital where Emily was staying. A family should be together. I even spent money to get them into the same room, so James could take care of his future wife and future mother-in-law. How nice! Emily's gentle voice came through the phone, as affectionate as ever, expressing how much she missed me.
I miss you too, Michael. I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay, I'll be waiting for you.
Ignoring what I had just seen, Emily really seemed wonderful, didn't she? We were college classmates, and not long after graduation, we got married with the blessings of our friends. After marriage, I focused on my career while she took care of the home, and we were recognized as a model couple among our friends. But now, it all seemed so fake. We had been married for 5 years, and she had a child with someone else. How laughable that I was even planning to donate a kidney to save her life. What a joke. The grandiose excuse was almost laughable. How blind was I to have fallen for such a woman? She made a mistake and still wanted to blame it on me. I worked hard to earn money, and that was wrong? Having a low fertility count doesn't mean I can't have my own child. I could improve my health, and if that didn't work, I could still opt for IVF. Why should I raise someone else's child? Am I supposed to be grateful for her betrayal?
Tomorrow, I'll have the lawyer bring over the divorce papers. As the one at fault in this marriage, you will leave with nothing.
Impossible!
No way!
Emily and her mother, Linda, spoke simultaneously, their ugly expressions making me nauseous.
Michael, we have served you for so many years. You can't just abandon us. Besides, Emily is still sick. We don't agree to the divorce.
Linda looked so smug and unfamiliar. Did they really think I had no way to deal with them?
In that case, we'll see each other in court.
Michael, after all these years of marriage, are you really going to be so ruthless?
I turned back and looked at her arrogant face.
Emily, do you really think you're that special? Without me, you're nothing.
In fact, this was true. Emily had no source of income all these years. Without me, if she and James could still live happily together, then I would naturally wish them well. At the door, James was coaxing Sam. When he saw me come out, there was a hint of smugness on his face. Emily must have told him about my fertility issues, that traitorous woman. Seeing James's expression, I couldn't help but laugh.
Some people really don't know their own worth.
James, seeing that I wasn't upset but instead laughed, became somewhat angry.
Michael, so what if you're high and mighty? You still can't get what you want. Emily loves me. We have a child, but you don't. We will eventually become a family.
I suppressed the urge to punch him in the face, took a deep breath, and said calmly,
Oh? Is that so? Then I wish you a love stronger than gold, a lifetime together. No matter what, Emily won't give up on you, right?
Of course.
I wondered what expression James would have if he had heard Emily's plan to take money and leave him. You don't realize the cost of living until you manage a household. Now, it's time for them to truly experience the hardships of life. After returning, I contacted the bank to stop all of Emily and Mother's cards, and I also halted the payments to the hospital. Now, both Emily and Mother were staying in the hospital. James had elderly parents and a child to care for, and no job. His life must be quite fulfilling, right? Of course, during my business trip, I occasionally checked on their miserable state through a micro camera, just to amuse myself. Sure enough, after just a week, Emily was transferred to a shared ward because she couldn't afford the high hospital fees. Back then, when I found out Emily had kidney failure, I was heartbroken. I immediately sought out the best hospital, arranged for expert consultations, and ensured she had the best dialysis treatment. Even her room was a VIP luxury suite.
Emily, don't worry. No matter what, I'll find a way to save you.
At that time, I even thought that as long as Emily was alive, I was willing to spend all my money. Otherwise, why would I have been foolish enough to consider donating my kidney to her? But now, things were different. My money is my life. If anyone dares to touch it, I'll fight them to the end. A month later, I returned from my business trip. Just as I drove up to the entrance of the neighborhood, a crazed woman suddenly appeared from the side. I slammed on the brakes, stopping just a few centimeters away from her. I cursed inwardly, wondering where this lunatic came from. The crazed woman started banging on my car door frantically.
Michael, Michael.
I looked closely and realized it was someone I knew. Seeing Mother dressed in cheap clothes, I couldn't help but marvel. It seemed they had indeed learned to be frugal over the past month.
Michael, I beg you, please save Emily. Everything that happened before was my idea. I wanted a grandson, and I pushed her to be with James. Emily has always loved you. Please save her.
Mother clung to my car window, crying and pleading for me to save Emily. It should have been a heart-wrenching scene, but my heart remained unmoved. If I hadn't discovered the truth early, it would have been me lying on that hospital bed, barely clinging to life. Seeing my expressionless face, Mother became desperate.
If you don't save Emily today, I'll lie under your car. If Emily dies, you won't have a good life either.
She said this while lying down under my car wheel. I couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity. How ridiculous. But I did want to see Emily, so why not take this opportunity to make her happy one last time? When her hopes are dashed, it will hurt even more. I turned the car around and headed to the hospital. Inside, James was sitting by Emily's side, feeding her.
Emily, when is Michael coming to give you a kidney? I don't have much money left.
Money, money, money. Can't you let me have some peace? When I was with Michael, he never let me worry about money.
Given your current state, what else can we talk about if not money? Love.
The argument continued until Sam started crying, and they finally stopped. So this was the true love James talked about? No thanks. I walked into the hospital room with a slight smile.
Michael, you're here.
Yes. I'm here to divorce you.
I handed her the divorce papers without any expression.
No, I won't sign it.
Emily, I'm giving you a way out now. You were unfaithful during our marriage and even tried to harm me. Even if it goes to court, you won't win.
Emily stared at me, as if she hadn't heard me clearly. I looked at her, half smiling, and played the recording of her plotting against me.
Do you have anything else to say?
Emily collapsed onto the bed, looking at me in disbelief.
Michael, do you really want to do this?
Emily, why are you pretending to be so affectionate now? Look, when you were planning to get rid of me, you didn't hesitate at all.
I showed her the footage from the hidden camera. Emily didn't know what to say for a moment. She stubbornly stared at the divorce papers, motionless. Until Mother came in.
Michael, let's not get divorced, please.
She clung to my leg, crying uncontrollably. It was clear that they hadn't been doing well these past few days, but what did that have to do with me? I took a few steps back, looking at the mother and daughter, feeling a bit exhausted.
Emily, I'm giving you two options now. 1. Sign the divorce papers immediately, and I'll give you an extra $200,000. We'll be done with each other. Or 2, we go to court, and you won't get a penny.
Emily ultimately chose to divorce. Our relationship ended there. An extra $200,000 easily bought her off. If Emily is lucky enough to find a suitable kidney donor, the divorce money will be enough for her surgery. But as for the subsequent recovery, she'll have to fend for herself. If she's unlucky, then she can only blame her own misdeeds. Emily's gentle voice came through the phone, as affectionate as ever, expressing how much she missed me.
I miss you too. I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay, I'll be waiting for you.
Ignoring what I had just seen, Emily really seemed wonderful, didn't she? We were college classmates, and not long after graduation, we got married with the blessings of our friends. After marriage, I focused on my career while she took care of the home, and we were recognized as a model couple among our friends. But now, it all seemed so fake. We had been married for 5 years, and she had a child with someone else. How laughable that I was even planning to donate a kidney to save her life. What a joke.
For extra. Since the day I signed the divorce agreement with Michael, everything seemed to change. Michael faded out of my life completely, though occasionally I would see him in financial news. A successful entrepreneur in the city, his achievements were something many could never reach in a lifetime. Seeing him so dazzling, I thought to myself, it's a good thing we got divorced, otherwise people would look at me with prejudice.
At first, I truly loved Michael, but as time went by, my pride overcame my love for him. I began to feel an intense jealousy towards him. We started from the same point, so why was he so brilliant while I could only stay in a corner? I was unwilling to accept this. I wondered if our roles were reversed, would my life be just as exciting?
Once this thought started, it became uncontrollable. I persuaded my mother to make some incompatible foods for Michael, creating the illusion that his health was deteriorating. But I didn't expect Michael to be so resilient. Even within 4 drip, he would still go to partner companies to discuss business.
Seeing that this tactic didn't work, I thought of using a baby to tie him down. I was afraid of losing him one day because he was just too excellent. As long as we had a baby, he wouldn't leave me for the rest of his life.
However, the years of starting a business had taken a toll on his health, and we even had a big fight over having a child. I thought Michael might look down on me because his career had taken off. Did he not love me anymore? He was too busy, and when I needed care or was sick, his phone was always busy.
James's appearance filled the void in my heart. He would coax me, please me, and even remember my cycle precisely. One drunken night, I betrayed Michael. If only Michael could be like that.
Until the day I was diagnosed with kidney failure, I wondered if I was too despicable. Even heaven couldn't stand it. But seeing Michael easily summon top domestic experts for a consultation, my jealousy began to overflow. Michael, that fool. He was actually willing to donate a kidney to me. He probably didn't know that I was more excited than him when I heard the news. Not because I could live, but because I had a chance to replace Michael.
Eventually, my little tricks were seen through by Michael. He woke up. We got divorced. I thought I would be happy not living under his wing after the divorce. But I found there was nothing to be happy about.
My mother went to doctors every day to see if there was a suitable kidney for me. James also regularly took care of me, but he was no longer as considerate as before. Instead, he often scolded me for being useless.
Emily, you are such a burden. Look at Michael, rich and powerful. And then look at you, you can't even take care of yourself. Do you think I got together with you for love? It was for the money from Michael's family.
It started again. Since the divorce, I had almost gotten used to such insults. Fortunately, I was about to have a kidney transplant. I was lucky. Even without Michael, I found a suitable match. After the surgery, everything would get better, right?
But I never expected that right after the surgery, James would run off with the remaining money.
Emily, don't blame me. You have nothing now. I can't let Sam suffer with you. Don't worry, I'll find a good mother for Sam. Take care of yourself.
Looking at the letter James left, it would be a lie to say I didn't regret it. I had given up Michael for such a hypocritical man.
James, that scoundrel, ran off with my grandson. That heartless.
My once kind mother started cursing again. We had no money left. We couldn't even afford to stay in the hospital. My mother rented a shabby old apartment for us. She had to go out every day to collect recyclables to afford my monthly anti-rejection medication. Looking out the window at the blue sky, I sometimes wondered what life would be like if I hadn't divorced Michael. If I hadn't found a suitable kidney and just passed away, it would have been fine too. Unfortunately, life doesn't have ifs.